Here's the problem. Santa's operation defies logic. One night, billions of deliveries, 0 defects. So what if, just maybe, Santa is an industrial and systems engineer? For this special holiday episode of Problem Solved, we asked IISE members and volunteers to send us their take on how Santa might use ISE tools to pull off the world's most impressive supply chain. And to wrap it all up, you'll hear a special story from IISE CEO Don Greene about the Christmas Eve when Santa himself called IISE for help. So settle in, grab some cocoa, and let's hear what they had to say.
My name is Allie Anderson. I'm an industrial and systems engineer, and I work at the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia as a senior improvement consultant. I think that Santa has to be an industrial engineer and that there is no question that he has industrial and systems engineering training. I think we have a plethora of evidence, but I'll highlight a few specific points. We know that he loves to track his data. He makes a list and checks it twice, and surely there are charts and graphs included. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see the distributions of boys and girls wanting baby dolls and Nerf guns and everything in between. There's also clearly some quality management in terms of defect rates coming off that ELF production line. Effectively, Santa is the executive in a manufacturing organization with his elves. They produce such high quality toys that we know Santa has quality checks in place. We even have evidence that Buddy the Elf was a toy tester back in the day. I also think there's some beautiful examples of systems thinking from Santa's work. He makes sure that his international one-night-only delivery runs smoothly without any bottlenecks. He also is excellent at capacity planning, so when a hot new toy comes on the scene late in the year, he has the ability to adjust production to meet the shifting demand. Since his work is so cyclical, I'm certain Santa has developed standard work, so he doesn't just have to rely on his memory for what steps to check before takeoff on Christmas Eve. Finally, and I don't have any specific evidence to this point, but I do believe it to be true, Santa's sleigh is so reliable and long-lasting that surely it was developed with the Toyota production system and produced by Toyota. So, those are my thoughts on why I believe Santa is an industrial engineer. Merry Christmas!
Hi everyone, my name is Quach. I'm a Virginia Tech alumni for Industrial and Systems Engineering. And here's what I've been thinking. Santa Claus might actually be the greatest industrial and systems engineer who's ever lived. And I'm not talking about the beard giving him that wise professor vibe. Let's start out with the obvious, logistics. Santa Claus runs a global delivery operation that makes Amazon Prime look like a lemonade stand. We're talking about visiting hundreds of millions of homes in a single night with the perfect route optimization every single time zone. He's essentially solved the traveling salesman problem on an impossible scale in near real time while accounting for variables like chimney accessibility, cookie quality by household, and who's actually asleep. The sleigh's dashboard might have the analytics that would make any supply chain manager weep with joy. But here's how it really gets good. The inventory management. Santa operates with the most extreme seasonal demand spike imaginable. 51 weeks of production, 1 night of distribution, and then 0 inventory carrying costs after December 25th. That's just-in-time delivery taken to the logical extreme. No warehouse fees in January, no overstock clearance sales. It is beautiful. Now here's my favorite part though, the facility layout. The North Pole workshop has to be a masterpiece of process design. I'm imagining assembly lines organized by toy complexity, strategic placement of hot cocoa stations to maximize, or in fact minimize, elf fatigue, express lanes for the last minute letter request, and of course Mrs. Claus running a spot check inspections for critical control points. So next time someone asks me about the pinnacle of industrial and systems engineering excellence, of course I might go to the Toyota or the Amazons, but now I'm pointing to the North Pole. Santa's not checking his list twice, he's optimizing it.
Hi, my name is Kristine Dungo, Ergonomics Engineer at Cintas Corporation and President-elect for the Applied Ergonomics Society. Here's my take on Santa. Santa is the ultimate industrial and systems engineer. Let's first start off with Santa being the president and CEO of Santa's Workshop, bringing joy to children all across the world. His main headquarters is his workshop located at the North Pole. With the continuous growth of the world's population, Santa realized that he had to expand his business by incorporating distribution centers and workshops all over the globe. So how does he do that? Every year, Santa secures multiple contracts with old and new department stores, toy stores, and other companies that provide the goods and services for children. These stores and companies are contracted to be his local distribution centers and workshops. Mrs. Claus meets regularly with these stores to ensure they will be fully stocked with trending toys, gadgets, and other items throughout the year. Santa tasks his elves to travel all over the world to observe the children on a regular basis. The elves submit naughty or nice ratings into a risk analysis or scorecard program. Once December 1st hits, that program will identify if a child has been naughty or nice. That child's rating, along with a list of action items, will be sent over to the child's loved ones, such as parents, guardians, and others who have significant impact on that child's future. These loved ones are the final evaluators for that child and what they will receive per Santa's action items. The loved ones have the month of December to complete their action items, which include shopping for presents at approved stores, either in person or online. Presents must be wrapped or placed in a bag or box. Now, presents may be delivered and placed under the tree or designated spot earlier than December 25th, only if a loved one is dressed as Santa to make that delivery. Once it hits 12 a.m. December 25th, the loved ones will start the process of adding presents under the tree or designated gift area. To enhance the experience of Santa's visit for the children, parents and loved ones must eat any cookies or drink any milk left out, and they must add innovative ways to showcase that Santa made his visit. During the festivities, elves are sent out all across the world to document all the good tidings and joy brought during the holidays. Letters and observations are reviewed at main headquarters with Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, and all the elves to forecast for the next coming year. Happy holidays, everyone.
Ergonomist Madeline Shoot.
It's that time of year again, folks. Customers are lining up in person and online to get gifts for their friends and loved ones. While in the background, somewhere much, much colder, Santa and his team of elves are working around the clock preparing for this holiday season. Santa's Christmas Workshop might be the best example of smooth, efficient, and injury-free operations on the globe. Starting off from raw materials all the way to finished packaged goods that are seamlessly delivered right under your tree, sounds like Amazon has got some serious competition. You might be surprised to find out that Santa has absolutely no reported injuries for the last 500 years. You might also be wondering what changed 500 years ago. Well, Santa originally was using these red light bulbs to illuminate the workplace. Since Rudolph kept getting made fun of for his red nose, Santa thought maybe this would help. This ended up creating a lot of eye strain for the elves. It was taking them longer to do precision tasks, and they weren't going to make the deadline for Christmas. Santa started to get really nervous, so he extended their shifts, gave them more breaks, but that didn't seem to help. Unfortunately, Alfred, he pricked his finger while sewing a teddy bear and had to take a couple days off. Santa didn't want anyone else getting hurt, so in a panic, he paused operations and reached out to Lifty Evergreen, the North Pole's operations manager, to figure out exactly what had happened. And it turns out it was the lighting all along. The next season, Santa ensured that his workplace was up to ISO lighting standards. Since then, Santa has continued to review his ergonomics program every year, looking for ways to improve safety and productivity. He designed workbenches and assembly lines to fit the anthropometrics of his workforce. The elves, of course. Fun fact, did you know that elves are typically anywhere from 2 feet to 4 feet tall? And that represents the 5th percentile female and 98th percentile male, respectively. Santa had to think of creative ways to design these workshops and to accommodate the elves, ensuring heavy objects were kept off the floor and in the ideal reach zone for them. The elves receive yearly ergonomics training at the start of every season. Mrs. Claus helped out with the title, 12 Days of Safety, Ergonomics Edition. At the end of the day, Santa's operation is proof that when you invest in ergonomics, whether it's lighting, workstation design, or just giving everybody the right tools, you unlock smoother workflows, safer teams, and a whole lot more holiday magic. That's exactly how he manages to deliver joy around the world in a single night with 0 recordable injuries.
This is a recording by Laura Albert. Santa manages a global logistics network that flawlessly delivers billions of personalized products in a single 24-hour window, all while operating from a facility at the North Pole. This is not magic. This is an outstanding application of industrial and systems engineering. Let's start with the naughty or nice list. Santa is making a list and checking it twice, which is a reflection of his commitment to redundancy and IE principles in his design. He evaluates every person's naughty or nice score on a regular basis using data that he collects continuously from sensors throughout the world. Then, a team of elves performs a final manual cross-reference against the most current surveillance data just before the sleigh launch to maintain decision integrity and ensure a near-perfect accuracy rate. The entire process is responsibly governed by an elven data science team to ensure perfect accuracy as well as privacy. The delivery route itself is the single most complex traveling salesman problem ever conceived. It's not just cities, it's every individual dwelling on the planet, factoring in time zone synchronization and a strict service level agreement that guarantees delivery before you wake up. Santa uses advanced operations research algorithms to route his sleigh by considering distances, chimney diameters, weather, passing jet streams, and critically, milk and cookie eating, which determines the least time-consuming way to consume fuel for the journey. And he has always eaten the cookies that I leave out for him. Santa has an unwavering commitment to continuous improvement. In the off-season, he refines the entire process. After the big night, Santa, his elves, and his reindeer conduct a rigorous post-mortem analysis. What were the choke points? Were there safety issues? Was the cookie consumption rate optimized? This systematic review of performance ensures that every year the process is refined, optimized, and ready to scale for the following year.
Ashley Benedict.
When it comes to industrial engineering, Santa Claus, Jack Skellington, and the Grinch each lead operations that would impress any systems analyst, but for very different reasons. Let's start with Santa Claus. He is the undisputed master of large-scale logistics. Imagine his operation. Billions of products, one-night global distribution, 0 defect rate, except when the toy is the hot commodity for that year. His production system runs on just-in-time efficiency, fueled by elven labor and predictive analytics that make even Amazon look basic. The North Pole Workshop integrates manufacturing, quality assurance, workforce morale, and transportation networks, all optimized by centuries of PDSA cycles. In industrial engineering terms, Santa's is Six Sigma with a twinkle. Jack Skellington, ruler of Halloween Town, brings creative process engineering. His strength lies in project management and design thinking, constantly reinventing holiday experiences. Jack thrives on innovation cycles and concept testing. However, his downfall comes from poor requirement gathering, as seen when his Christmas takeover spirals into chaos. Brilliant visionary, but not always process compliant. Then there's the Grinch, the ultimate efficiency expert in resource scarcity. With no budget, no team, and one loyal dog, he engineered a stealth operation that rivaled Santa's logistics. Reverse distribution, every chimney, 0 noise. His system emphasized minimal resources, perfect timing, and adaptive strategy. Yet, like many disruptive innovators, he underestimated human factors such as a heart-size calibration reset, and that really changed his purpose. So who's the better industrial engineer? I mean, Santa wins in scale, Jack in innovation, and the Grinch in lean processes. But overall, the best industrial engineer is Santa Claus. He optimizes the world's happiest supply chain, balancing production flow, worker satisfaction, and global delivery, all with milk and cookies as his continuous improvement incentive.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Greene, CEO of the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers. Now, Santa might not hold an official ISE degree, but trust me, he understands a lot about what we do. And how he came to know so much is quite a story. I'd like to share what happened a few years back here at IISE. We call this story Santa Goes Lean in a Good Way. It seems that up at the North Pole, Santa was facing what you might call a holly jolly crisis. The toy line was behind schedule, the sleigh route was in chaos, and the elves were arguing over work assignments again. Mrs. Claus, who by the way is an industrial engineering graduate from the University of Alaska, where she was a proud member of the reindeer marching band, stepped in and said, "Dear, maybe it's time to call in the experts. What about the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers?" "Great idea," shouted Santa. "They can show us how to make things better around here." And that's when my phone rang. It was Santa himself. And let me tell you, when the big guy calls, you answer. After hearing about his challenges, I knew that IISE had just what he needed to turn his organization around. Within days, Santa and the elves were attending one of IISE's training courses, virtually of course, on Lean Six Sigma. Santa even earned his green belt, though he was a little disappointed to learn that it wasn't a real belt to go with his red suit.
Oh.
The elves went back to the workshop and reorganized using a cellular layout, clustering toy assembly, quality checks, and wrapping in tight, efficient stations. Productivity soared, and they even turned their daily candy cane break into a Kaizen event. Santa's team downloaded case studies from ISE magazine, learning how engineers around the world optimize factories. Then, inspired by an article in IISE Transactions, Santa tackled the North Pole's supply chain problem. Reindeer feed, toy parts, and hot chocolate mix were always running low. So he implemented a just-in-time inventory system, ensuring that everything arrived right when it was needed. The elves and the reindeer were thrilled. Of course, the biggest challenge was the Christmas Eve route. In previous years, Santa had relied mostly on holiday magic and gut instinct. But this time, he called in his top elf analyst to develop a traveling Santa algorithm powered by advanced sleigh analytics. By combining real-time weather data, chimney diameter factors, and global time zones, they developed a simulation-modeled route that reduced total flight distance by 18.7%. Dasher and Dancer reported record-low hoof fatigue, and the North Pole Department of Transportation gave them a 5-star safety rating. Meanwhile, Santa's design team took on another project, Ergonomics sleigh redesign. They replaced his old seat with a high-support, posture-friendly model. Santa was much more comfortable and less fatigued. Reports from the field confirmed an 80% increase in ho-ho-ho frequency per hour. After the big night, Santa gathered everyone together for a post-Christmas review. Mrs. Claus brought sugar cookies labeled PDSA, Plan, Do, Snack, Adjust. Team, Santa said, we cut lead times, improved quality, and reduced sleigh turnaround time by 22%. Thanks to IISE, we've made Christmas a model of continuous improvement. So, if you liked this example of applying ISE principles, don't miss the 2026 IISE Annual Conference. Our featured keynote speaker will be none other than Santa Claus himself. His presentation will be titled Delivering Joy the ISE Way, a case study in global logistics and reindeer power. And who knows, if we're lucky, he might even share the secret formula for zero defect gift wrapping. Happy holidays from all of us here at IISE.
A huge thank you to all of our IISE members and volunteers for sharing their ISE spin on Santa's operations. If you'd like to leave your thoughts, find us on social media and leave us a comment. From all of us at Problem Solved and IISE, happy holidays.